Hello, couch co-opers, couch potatoes, and couch codependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian, and on the couch tonight, it's just Jared and I.
It's me
It's a
and Ian,
Yay!
or Ian and I.
Yeah. The OG cast.
Yeah,
The founders. Where it all began.
back in the day, forever years ago.
We might get an appearance by the Aaron.
Aaron might show up.
I guess Dave had a busy weekend, and Nick has to get up early again tomorrow. So, it's just us. And, yeah. How you doing, Jared?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a good weekend so far. Still got one more day to go. So yeah, it's been good. Not very productive. Went to an event, so that was nice.
Oh, yeah. How was your Final Fantasy thing last night?
Yeah, it was awesome. The Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Symphony tour was amazing. It's about what I expected. Great Final Fantasy music from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with a whole symphony and a giant orchestra, or I mean a choir.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so that was awesome. And you can't really beat the Arlene Schnitzer Hall in this area.
Did they play any footage?
What a beautiful venue. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had a big screen. That's actually kind of the only downfall of being in the higher tiers of the seats is the screen was covering the choir.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's fine. I was watching the footage most of the time, looked down at the conductor a lot, and that one thing that I love about that place is the acoustics are so good. You hear a sound, and you're like, "Oh, who's doing that?" You can look down and see exactly who's doing it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's the acoustics there are so good.
Cool. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Did Elisa have a good time?
Oh yeah, she was blown away. She'd never been to a symphony, never been to the Arlene Schnitzer Hall, so it's like, yeah, you have to. Have you ever been to the Schnitz?
Oh, lots of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my most unusual experience there is going to see Marilyn Manson in the Arlene Schnitzer Hall.
I've never seen a rock show there, but I've seen the symphony a million times, and then I saw that's where they used to hold. They might still, I don't know, but Warren Miller ski and snowboard films, they would do those
cool.
there. So, but yeah,
That's neat.
so, but I haven't been in a long time.
Cool.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah, cool.
All right, well, I guess we'll get this show on the road, Jared. What happened this day in gaming history?
Well,
Well,
this was the official launch day of the Sega Master System in Japan back in 1985.
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It didn't come out until 87 or 86 in the USA. It came out in 87 in the UK. So it was really staggered.
Mhm.
It was like it finally came out in Brazil in like 89.
Wow.
I mean, it took years for them to just keep launching it into different economies. It's pretty wild. It was about 150 to $200 when it came out.
I've never played one.
I played one. I borrowed it from a friend back in the school days. Well, on the software side, speaking of soft and squares, Final Fantasy VI came out 30 years ago in 1994
Wow.
as Final Fantasy III for the Super Nintendo.
Crazy.
And it's funny because I didn't realize that. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to finish it this weekend. So last weekend I finished it again through the Pixel remaster, and this just happens to be its 30th anniversary. And I went to a Final Fantasy VII Symphony.
Wow. All
So
the
they-
lines.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of stupid how much I Final Fantasied this year. Like I bought the Pixel remaster this year. I went through 1 through 6. I finished the Final Fantasy 16 DLC, and I completed Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I mean, that's like multiple hundreds of hours in games right there.
Yeah, it is.
And other role-playing game news, Xenogears for the PlayStation came out 26 years ago. That's a game that I loved when I was playing it. I never got to finish it, which I've mentioned on this podcast before. soon as I made it to second disc, somebody stole the disc and the memory card.
Oh, that sucks.
So I never got to complete it. I got the disc back, but I never got the memory card back.
Mm-hmm.
So, flame sauce. Yeah. And a game we've had a lot of fun with in our history. Borderlands came out 15 years ago.
Holy moly.
The original Borderlands. It seems like it would have been a lot longer, but 15 years with 3 titles, a couple of spin-offs, well, like 4 spin-offs, including the Tales games.
Yeah, because it came out when I was living with you.
Pre-sequel, yeah. Yeah, so Borderlands. Cheers. We've
Cheers,
had a
Borderlands.
ton of fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
Play the Borderlands. Don't watch the movie.
I still want to see the movie just for shits and giggles.
Cool. Is that it?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
that'll
all
do.
for this
That'll
day
do.
in gaming history.
Whoop, whoop,
Well,
whoop,
there's
whoop.
no beer battle unless you're going to beer battle your Slayer against something else, Jared.
No, I don't want to do a beer battle.
All right.
No. I mean, I could do it against Guinness, but I don't feel like chugging back a couple of darks right now.
No, it doesn't have to be. It could be. I mean, I did. What did I do last week? Hurricane and Rainier. See, totally
Oh,
two different
ugh.
beers. Two different beers. A light lager and a malt beverage.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. And there's no demo because I thought about it. I thought about playing something, and then I was like, yeah. I actually looked through the demos, and I was just like, none of these do I want to subject myself to.
I downloaded a demo that I really want to play.
Oh, which
It's on
one?
Steam. It's called Awaken Astral Blade First Contact. It's like a pre-chapter to the game that's going to come out soon. It's like a Metroidvania type game on Steam,
Interesting.
and it looks really interesting. But Awaken Astral Blade First Contact.
Bum, bum, bum.
Looks really cool.
All right,
Bum,
cool.
bum, bum.
Aaron
So that's a
made
demo I
it.
plan on playing. Hi, Aaron.
What up?
Oh, listen to that
Yo,
microphone.
look at that mic.
Yeah, that's right.
So nice
Can
and
you-
clear. Holy moly.
Are you able to
I
set it
know.
down and you want to test it out? Set it down and talk. Can we hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, if you
Can you
turn
hear me all right?
I can hear you. It was better when it was closer.
Yeah, it was better when
Okay.
it was closer. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll just
I
need
can-
to
I-
upgrade your
need to get you an
mic
arm.
stand game. Yeah.
I have a temporary. Well, I had to build
Yeah.
a little makeshift thing, but for now,
That's
this
a-
is what I got.
That sounds
Cool looking mic with LED lights on it. That's rad, dude. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
great.
Heck yeah.
Professional.
it's
Light it
I
up.
know.
Or you
That's
just
right.
stack a bunch of books under it.
That's what I was thinking. Actually,
It'd match my PC setup. Maybe I should upgrade to an LED mic.
it is nice having this. I'm not kidding, but obviously I will fix that.
No worries. So you have a good weekend, Aaron?
It was pretty good actually. Busy but good.
Cool.
Okay. Awesome.
I don't suppose you played a demo.
I actually I downloaded the Epic Mickey download actually. I was actually curious about that when it first came out way back in the day on 360 and PS3. I want to say,
Back in
but I
the
never got
day.
around
It was
to
on
it.
the Wii, I think.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it was there too. It was.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a good game, but I never got around to playing it. And I downloaded it yesterday. No, Friday.
But not
And
haven't
I'm like,
gotten to it yet.
Yeah.
No.
Another demo we plan on playing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
One of
but
these
there's
days.
lots of demos out all the time. Yeah.
We were trying to
absolutely.
Right.
we were trying to see if someone could fill the void of Dave's demo segment, but
Try it by die.
yeah, unfortunately
It's
no one.
irreplaceable.
No. Close. You guys both downloaded a demo, but no one played. it.
Yeah, that's
No.
as far as I got.
Nope.
All
That's
right.
okay.
Well, then we're just going to get to the main event tonight. Since it's getting close to Halloween,
Oh yes.
I thought we'd do a little
spooky season.
spooky, scary horror top 3 favorite scary,
Ooh.
spooky, creepy
Okay.
games. So, you know me, I don't really play the horror games, so I picked games that kind of creep me out. I'm sure you guys
Yeah.
have some more of the more, tried and true titles, but
Yeah.
Jared, you wanna kick it off?
Yeah, and like more recent memory kind of stuff. I just kind of went with things I've played within the last couple of generations. And I think as a group, the most fun we've had with a horror type game was PT.
Oh God, yeah.
Because that woman tall thing that would follow you around and breathe down your neck and stuff like that. That was pretty creepy, and the lighting was really well done. Which was a trailer for a game that will never happen, the Silent Hills. And
Right.
that's sad. That was the whole demise of Mr. Kojima and him splitting off and doing different stuff, which is also some scary stuff.
Which gave us
which
Death
I-
Stranding, which is kind of
Yes.
creepy.
Yes.
very creepy in parts. Yeah, when you have to pretty much hold your breath while you're walking through somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, PT made an interesting change in the industry, and sharing it with friends was a blast on its own, and it was pretty darn creepy. Some weird ass shit going on
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah.
For sure.
The fact you can literally go around the same place over and over again, it changes, and then you see
Yeah.
at some point a purple person creeping over the banister, like, hey, and then just slinks away like nothing. I'm like,
Or that weird paper bag thing.
Oh yeah, at the
Oh,
end,
yeah.
at the
That's
top.
so weird.
Or the thing,
got
the thing in the
In the bathroom?
sink. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Ugh.
always got the heebie-jeebies actually thinking about that banister scene when I just
Yeah.
mentioned it. Literally, I felt the goosebumps.
I was
Yeah.
thinking like, this is also on my list. It's my number 2. I was also saying like, how we share it, but like we played that so many times. I played that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think Jared. I played it with Dave. I did a run through with Justin. I know we did a run through it all at game night. It's just,
Uh-huh.
I think Justin Daniels I think ran through it once.
Yeah.
Because it's like an
Daniels or Burton.
hour and a half. Both Justins.
Mm-hmm. I
I think
remember
like
Well,
an hour
Burton's
and a
the
half,
most
2
'cause he-
hours. I don't know.
It just randomly dropped as
Yeah.
a free download, and
Mhm.
I think everybody tried downloading it, and eventually it's like one of those weird things where people were selling their PlayStation 4s because it still had a downloaded copy of PT on it,
Yeah, I still have
because
it.
Konami ordered it being torn out of the store and made it so nobody could purchase or even download it again, which
I think
doesn't
it's still in
happen
my
very
library.
often.
Yeah, if it's in your
yeah.
library, you can still get it. But if it's
Mhm.
you
Not
can't get it
in-
any
Oh.
other way, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely
I
honorable
thought
mention in my book.
I thought you couldn't download it. I'm pretty sure you can't download it again.
I know it's on my machine, but I thought you could download
Yeah.
it. I thought you just
No.
couldn't access it.
I'll have to, maybe not. I mean, it's
I thought they
Yeah.
talked
Been
about this
yanked
on.
off the store.
I thought they talked about this on Kind of Funny, and they tested it.
right.
As Aaron is
Yeah.
moving on to his number 3, I will look on my PlayStation app.
All right, so my number 3 was a game that I played a while back, and I did actually. It's not really scary in my book. It's more creepy, spooky. It's Resident Evil 5. Now, it's probably one of the only. I would probably have a Resident Evil on my list if I played more of them. Like probably like 7 or 8, or hell, even that remake of 2, which that one was scary. But that one, that's not even on my list because it just so obnoxious because of Mr. X. But Resident Evil 5 is in there because it's not scary. It's just like it's spooky because you go into a place you don't know at all,
Mhm.
and there's a bunch of infected people trying to kill you. They're not really they're technically zombies, but they're not. But it's just like it got the Resident Evil vibes to it, like the creepy vibes where you can't really go into certain rooms. Like, oh god, what's gonna happen? And all of a sudden you see a villager come out and just slash at you. It's like, fuck, okay, what do I do? And the shitty part about that game is you had to play with another person. I paired up with so many random people. I think I even played with Jason's brother Jesse to be a part of it
Huh.
because, well,
Yeah.
the thing is the second player that they give you, garbage.
Garbage.
Oh, yeah. That's
Bitch.
I gave up on that game quick. I never finished Resident Evil 5 because the AI companion was so bad. I hated it so
Well,
much.
It's funny because I played it with my friend, my friend and temporary roommate for a while. That's why I enjoyed it, and then I played it by myself for a little bit. I'm like, no. I want to finish this. I never beat a Resident Evil game. I'm gonna do this, but I need help. So then I somehow was able to play more of my friend, my roommate, my friend at the time, and then whenever he couldn't do it, I get my Jason's brother Jesse to help me out with it, and we beat it, and it was actually it's a good game. It really is. It's just if they just overhauled that AI, it could have been a solid game for what it was, but it wasn't scary. It was just very spooky. The whole infected thing and people just trying to kill you, you know, like they're not zombies, but they're not zombies. That kind of creeped me out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
what's about it that sets it apart from other Resident Evils for you, though? What about it?
I think it's the fact it could actually happen. Like zombies, no, there's no way. But I think what happened was a combination of that it could actually happen, and then there was later on, I think, reports of that bath salt thing in Florida or whatever it was, where people were like inhaling bath salts and actually like being zombie-ish people towards others, like trying to eat faces. That's what kind of tied it together. There's a weird tie, but it just kind of like it was a weird coincidence. I'm like, oh, this could actually happen. Fuck.
Fun.
That's the thing. But I mean, because other Resident Evil games have been on my list, but I guess I never played really any of them, or I didn't care to play the other ones just because it was zombie overdose at that time, so I couldn't do it.
Cool.
There was a point in time where like every other game was a zombie game. I do remember that.
That's
Resident
still going
Evil,
on.
Left
What
4
are you
Dead,
talking about?
Yeah, it
Rising.
is. It's because it's simple AI. It's like attract to player,
Right.
slow
Mm-hmm.
attack.
And even if it's not zombies, they have their version of a zombie or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, freakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of dumb names that zombies have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my favorite zombie game of them all was probably Left 4 Dead, just because it wasn't it was serious, but it wasn't, because you could literally just shoot, and you're fine. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to aim for any parts of their body. You could just blow them away with a shotgun. You were good.
Is that a cocrophone?
Yes, it is. I mean,
you took your hands off, and I was just like, "What's going on?"
no hands. Look, Ma, no hands. I'm expressing on my belly.
Good times.
It works for now.
All right.
Yeah.
My number 3 is a kind of a twofer because I didn't complete these games, so I'm kind of putting them. They're also kind of similar. They creep me out in a similar way. So the first one is Half-Life 2, and the second one is Metro Last Light. Both first-person shooters. They both have to do with this kind of weird shit going on in their worlds. One's got...
I almost forgot about Metro.
I mean, they both have these hanging tongue things that grab you and snare you and pull you up and shit. So anyway, Half-Life 2, I've told this a lot of times. I've talked about both these games, but these games, I tried to play through Half-Life 2. I really wanted to. I understand its impact on the gaming and all that stuff, but at a certain point, the sound of the slithering crab walker things in the background just freaks me out. And then I hate it when they fly at my face because I have a spider issue a little bit, and everyone knows this.
To be fair, spiders flying in everybody's face is terrifying. So.
Case in point, Farpoint, which is an honorable mention, but not on my list. But because anyway, but yeah. So Half-Life 2, because of that, just like everyone, these guys in the back walking around with the head crabs on their heads and like moaning, like in pain, and then you hear these little skittering crabs running around, and but I really did like the game, and I feel really bad that I never finished it. It just creeps me out.
I'm a good part way through Half-Life 1 on my PC right now.
Are you?
Maybe several chapters in right now.
I could probably.
I plan on actually finishing it finally.
That one doesn't look as. That one looks more dated. I mean, Half-Life 2 looks dated at this point too. I don't know why I'm making excuses. It just it really works on me. I don't know what it is. And then you, if you want to move up in the graphical content, I don't know why I felt the desire or need. Did they give it to us for free, Metro Last Light? I don't know. They must.
I think so. Yeah.
So this is the same kind of thing. You're kind of going through this world that's all like been mutated by.
Claustrophobic.
Oh my
world
god!
With your mask.
It's even
man.
worse, dude.
Yeah.
It's like you're constantly having to put the mask on. Then it breaks. Then your radiation because you're checking shit. Then
A
creatures,
stressful ass game.
and then you think you're safe in the light, and then you're like walking like through a gas station, and these just fucking tendrils come down, and it's just like, oh my god, Jesus Christ, just let me.
Well, I hate that.
A Metro VR experience just came out.
I know. I feel like that's right up Jared's alley.
It is. I want to play it someday.
But
Metro is my honorable mention. I forgot about the Metro 2033, the first one. God, I almost forgot about that game until you mentioned. Like, yeah, that's a freaking scary ass game. Not to mention.
I don't know if it was really scary, but it's stressful.
I think in the dark, in the spider stuff, like you're going through the dark and you're like using a lighter to like kind of burn the cobwebs, and you're just waiting for fucking shit to jump out at you, and I'm just like, and then you're like, I don't know. There's so many things layered on in that game. It's just like it's overwhelming.
It'd be fun to have a heart rate monitor on you during a game like that. Oh man!
And then so I'm just like, when it's just an area where it's just dudes and you're just shooting them, it's like, oh, just dudes to kill, just dudes. I'm just shooting.
That's
not so bad.
That's a standard fare. I've done this before.
Let's just hang out here. Let's just hang out here and kill some guys. No problem. Oh no, this is over. Oh, the radiation's popping. Oh no, got to put my mask on in the dark. Great, awesome. Can't see anything.
Gotta run. And oh no, spiders coming. Fuck.
Anyway, so those are my two kind of similar number three. That's my number three. I didn't finish them, and so yeah. Jared, what's your number two?
VR experience.
Of course.
Resident Evil.
Which one?
7. I had a feeling that was
I
coming
haven't
in
finished
at some point.
8 yet. 8 isn't quite as creepy as 7 was.
Right.
Because the environment of that cabin with all the weird shit going on in the cabin in Resident Evil 7 was pretty creepy. I mean, they even had you like slide between rafters and stuff like that. And there's like bugs and shit in your face, and I don't know. The sound effects were done so well. That's one thing that's the best about playing any horror game in VR is that the sound effects are where they belong. When you're turning and moving your head around, they are in the right place. So it's really immersive and creepy as hell.
Right.
And I don't know if I would have enjoyed Resident Evil 7 as much out of VR. I never actually played it out of VR, other than like, no, I even played the demo in VR when it first came out in VR. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't even played Resident Evil 8 outside of VR, so I don't know what these games are like not in VR. It's kind of funny, but I'm sure they're still kind of creepy. But like, how can you top being in it? You know, it's
true.
Pretty
Unless
nuts.
you're living it.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 absolutely was a creepy ass thing. There's certain segments where you're being chased and there's stuff behind you, so you're like, I better keep going. You know, you can't really easy turn around and run backwards and stuff like that in a game like Resident Evil, even in first person. So you just kind of have to get somewhere and figure out what's going on.
Was it even more hectic in VR, or?
I feel like it would be.
Well, it's easier to get your bearings than it is like turning the right stick, because you can just kind of like you can move your head around and figure it out. Because I do like the motion stuff. I don't have like the snap motion where it just teleports you somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Which in a lot of VR shooty and Resident Evil games, you can kind of cheat because you can like teleport behind them and junk like that. So it kind of takes the fun out of it. So I don't like to do that.
Gotcha.
I like the immersion, so I just try and plant myself where the character is going to be and adjust it at that point. Yeah, but yeah, love Resident Evil 7.
Cool, awesome.
There you go.
Was it like a family of cannibals? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's the one. Well, the first the VR demo that came out, the Feast or whatever that was.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You like the first. Well, it ended up being part Resident Evil stuff. You were sitting in a chair, and all that shit was happening around you, all the sounds you could hear where that character was behind you, and
Oh, you know what? I think
all
I
that
did install
stuff.
that.
Yeah, that was part of some of the Resident Evil teasing stuff,
Gotcha.
because they teased a whole bunch of stuff before Resident Evil 7 came out.
Right.
That was
Right.
one of them. There was also the feast where you were like in the house. You saw the kitchen. Oh no, it was called the kitchen.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
you'd go
I
in the
remember that.
kitchen, you'd see all the gross shit in the pots, and everything was falling apart around you. It was disgusting. Yeah, it's like they really threw all these curveballs at me, and I fell into every one of those traps. I loved that whole experience. It was so fun and cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
There you go.
It's 2 Resident Evil games. We got 5 and we got 7 so far.
yeah.
My number 2
Konami, go.
was Jared's number 3 was PT, and I did look, Jared. You're right. It's only once you have it, you can't re-download it. So
I was looking at a Reddit post from like 3 years ago where some dude figured out how to make his computer a proxy server and was able to go and find. I don't know. You really have to jump through some hoops and use some weird apps, and somehow they were able to find a way to download it. But I could only imagine that's been blocked by now.
I mean, there's probably a way to like somehow get the code and rip it off. Like because I have it on my PS4 and it just
Dude,
sits there.
you can download it in Dreams.
Yeah, Dream version. Is it?
Yeah, get the Dreams
tried it?
version.
Oh,
I
that's
want to.
interesting.
I bet it's in VR even.
That's interesting. I wonder how that is.
Yeah, I should do that.
But yeah, so my number 2 was PT.
Oh.
Definitely not my type of game, but there was all this buzz, Hideo Kojima, so I had to get it and played it it's only a
So
couple
many
hour
times.
experience, but played it so many times. It's kind of funny, and just watching other people play it. That's like kind of the fun part. It's kind of like VR, just watching someone else.
Well, it was a
experience it.
mystery. It's kind
Yeah.
of fun waiting and seeing how they figure the mystery out, because
Right.
it wasn't just straightforward.
Right.
Things didn't happen just because,
Right.
So it was fun watching, even assisting, because even late in the game, people were still kind of confused how to get things to trigger
Right.
into the next segment.
Right.
So yeah, it was cool.
Cool. Anyway, so that was my, and I guess I kind of skipped Aaron.
You're fine. I got this.
Because I'm
get-
looking at my thing and I'm like going around in circles.
Oh, I know.
now.
Yeah, we're
So,
going
like,
on the wrong way.
Usually,
Yeah.
anyway. Sorry, Aaron. Yeah, Aaron, what's your number 2?
You're good. No, so my number 2 would be my number 1, but I haven't finished it yet, and I think you guys know what this one is.
Dead Space.
Dead Space.
Because honestly, that game has the tsunami, in my opinion, of scary. You got creatures that are like, what the fuck are those things? Can't kill them the typical way. You have to dismember them and then do it unless you put it on story mode. Then you just hit them a couple times with a plasma shot and they're done.
The only reason I didn't put it on my list is because I knew you'd pick it.
That's okay. Yeah, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
The atmosphere is
a top game.
great. The atmosphere is great and scary. I had to turn up a little bit just because I have a hard time seeing at nighttime sometimes, and that game is dark as fuck when you leave it alone. So I had to turn up just a little bit so I could see better, just for my eyes, because it hurt my eyes.
I get it.
Sound effects are great. It's really good. It's just like I said,
The remake is so good. So good.
It is. It really is.
You want to know something? You want a funny nope from me was I've never played any Dead Space except Dead Space 3. They gave us Dead Space 3 for free on PlayStation Plus way back. And I remember playing it a little bit and kind of like, oh, okay. And then you will go down in this elevator and some shit happens. I'm just like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Man,
So what I understand is the first one is what it is, the scary as fuck. Second one is even scarier. But then the third one's
the
more
second one's so
actiony.
good.
Third
But-
one's
but
kind of
it's-
mental. You're right. You kind of go mental.
Yeah, well, because it's multiplayer, both people might see different things. One of you is going through something and the other's not. So you'll be in the same area, but you're both seeing different stuff. It's pretty interesting, that thought. But I didn't get to play it multiplayer. We didn't get to play that together, Ian.
Well, you go mental too if you send Necromorphs.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. But it was way more shooty.
Like what?
Yeah.
How long is the first Dead Space? Like how long of a game is that?
Less than
God.
12 hours, maybe 8 to 10, something like that.
Really? I felt like it was
Yeah.
longer, but yeah,
No,
okay.
I mean, I could look real quick on how long to beat. I love that website.
Yeah, I should like.
So
Well-
I'll just do that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that game itself is honestly like, it's. I never beat it, but I haven't beat it yet, but if I had to choose to be my number one if I
12 to
beat it.
16 hours for the remake.
Oh, see.
Well, they did a lot more to that game. I feel like in the first one, the remake. Like then they just kind of redo it the whole thing, except for keep the story itself essentially. Because I know that they did some minor things, but they re-upped on some stuff and like just kind of obviously
Yeah.
up-resed everything and made the character more talk versus like
He was a silent protagonist in the first one.
Like
but
Mad Max.
They gave him a voice in the remake, so I like
Mhm.
that.
yeah.
I'm enjoying that a lot.
I am too. I'm kind of balancing it between that and Final Fantasy because yes, I love Final Fantasy, but I need that game to balance out the scary of Dead Space.
Just
Yeah,
shooting bricks
I
all the
get it.
time.
I get it. Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
build
Well,
a
it's like
wall
the-
out of those bricks by now, huh?
yeah. Well, I've been. It's the game is like I said, the game is so scary, and it's just such a good atmosphere. Like I know it's going to happen in certain parts, but like I've forgotten until it comes and goes. Ah, fuck you, motherfucker. And that's the necromorphs. So I hate those things. And then you see that little torso-looking thing that runs around with its spine flying, kind of the thing from the
Yeah.
Doom movie, Pinky. I'm like, I have to kill you now too. But wait, I know there's more. So
So good, so good.
much bigger things coming, but still.
Yeah, Dead Space is masterclass. That's such a top tier game. Yes, 100%.
It really is.
Ugh.
But yeah, that's
I
my
feel
number
bad.
two.
I wish I could play it. I just know I would bail on it so
You
quickly.
can. You just have to have somebody holding your hand.
Yeah, I can't play with one hand.
No, I could do it myself. It's just like I said, I play for a little while, I get to a certain point, and then I stop and start playing Final Fantasy. So it works.
There you
Yeah.
go. All right,
One good
Jared.
story to another.
Oh, all right, Jared. What's your number one?
My number one is Bloodborne.
Oh, Bloodborne.
Yeah,
That's scary.
it's not made. I guess it would be kind of made to be like kind of a scary, creepy game. Like the atmosphere of that whole game is so dank,
Right.
I can
and
see that.
like the enemies are like hairy, furry. They do weird stuff, and they
Mhm.
get wet.
remember that in my
They're
playthrough for a little bit.
moist sounds and gross. Yeah, there's
it's
a lot
very
of gross
dark
in that game.
too. It's very
It's
gritty,
very dark.
brown.
Yeah,
black.
but-
yeah.
Also, speaking of masterclass games, the game is so good.
Mhm.
I'm still also waiting for the remaster of that someday, or remake. But
Never.
That probably PS6.
Never.
yeah, I know. But yeah, I love. Every once in a while, I'll jump back into it just to kind of goof off in the beginning, or I mean, I don't know, just kind of goof off in the middle of a save or something like that, because it's just fun to jump back into
I
from
think
time to time. Because yeah, the atmosphere was so perfectly done. It's just weird and creepy.
if my character wasn't so ugly, like the character creator is just so just gross.
Yeah, the characters look pretty dumb. Yeah,
I probably
Yeah.
would've stuck-
Software's
It's
never
like
been
butt.
super good at that.
I probably would have stuck with it longer. Like I didn't have really any issue with it. I just like I don't like what I'm getting and how I look, and I don't know. I probably would have
Yeah.
stuck around a little bit longer than I did. I probably played it for like an hour
Yeah, that's
And
what
I
happened to me.
and just kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. I know.
I
I
tried.
understand it. I understand FromSoft is like a legend, and I know there's a bunch of cool shit that happens in that game.
That
Mm-hmm.
was the first FromSoft game I finished. I mean, I played Demon Souls, didn't finish that on PS3, and then I eventually I
too
played
much.
through Bloodborne, and I stuck to it, and I loved it. It's funny, like difficult games like that, like. I'll bash my head against the wall for a long time. I'll just kind of shelve it for a while. But then when I come back, I'm like refreshed and I conquer it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in like that weird mode, like where I had time to settle into other games, and like I was ready to come back to it, and I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
yeah, no problem. I get through the boss, that I was stuck on. So it's kind of funny when it comes to hard games like that. Just taking a break can get you through it.
I even
Right.
considered Elden Ring just because there's definitely some grotesque shit
Oh yeah.
in that game.
Yeah,
but
some
ultimately,
of those weird, like
Yeah.
spitty, slobbery monsters that suck you up in their mouth and that kind of weird ass shit.
or the
Yeah.
boss with the
Uh.
skull thing, and I don't know. There's all kinds of weird, gross.
Yeah,
or
there is weird.
the not the first grafted boss, but just like kind of other guy that has like the multiple arms and legs and walks around.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, and there's a bunch of creepy
With the
shit.
dragon
There
arm.
we go.
There's all kinds of weird shit. But I was like, ultimately, I was like, nah. I mean, there was some creepy shit in there, but like, nah,
Right.
it's not the same.
Yeah, you're not always stressed out.
No.
Where
Well,
like
I'm
Bloodborne,
always-
you're kind of always stressed
mean,
out, like no matter where you go.
What is the level with the rivers of blood? Cadis?
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever that place is called.
Kalid?
Khalid.
Something like that.
Khalid, yeah,
Khalid.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're always stressed out there with those fucking bird dog things, but
Yeah.
but I just ultimately decided no. It's like that game was so much more joy, even though it was
Yeah.
brutal. It was like I had a lot of fun with that game. But yeah, I just wish Bloodborne. Maybe if they did remaster it and they kind of clean up the character creator a bit, maybe I'd give it another shot.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, like the bosses in Bloodborne, some of them are just utterly like weird, like oozing stuff, and like I don't know, just really weird, crazy, creepy ass designs.
Right.
Yeah. So that is a good one, I think.
Cool.
Right.
All right. Well, Aaron, do you want to do your number one? Or
I'll let you go.
Oh, you want me to go?
I'll let
Okay.
you go number one.
All right,
It's my turn.
my number one. Actually, I haven't beat it either, but I've put a lot of time into this game, and I'm at a creepy part, and that's why I haven't moved forward on it yet. I've just been like sitting. It's been sitting there.
Do you
And,
need me to hold your hand?
No, I'll get to it. And surprisingly, it's a Metal Gear game.
Oh yeah,
Metal Gear
Survive.
Survive. A lot of people shit on this game. I actually really like this game.
I was having fun with it for a while.
It's
Yeah.
got zombies, or their version
Right.
of zombies, and then it's got
Mhm.
these other things that exist in the world, and then you learn that like when you go out in the world, like you have your base and you're building and you're
Into
trying
the
to
mist.
protect, but when you go into the mist, there's this creature out there that is fucking terrifying because it'll just kill you. You can't always see it. You can't see the whole thing of it sometimes.
Because it's really tall.
It's
hate
really
that-
huge.
I hate
it's,
that shit.
It's weird. And then, I mean, it's like world big. It's like huge. And then you'll be fighting like zombies, and then you can hear it coming, and it's kind of. So there's that kind of level. Then there's the zombie battling stuff
Ugh.
where you're fighting hordes of these zombies.
It's hectic fighting, yeah. I mean, with
which-
limited resources.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense. And then once you get to a certain point, your base gets overwhelmed and attacked, and it gets destroyed, and you have to run. And you fight the creature, and then you go to a new area. So I'm now in a new area, and I've kind of investigated that area. But then the path I need to go down has these weird ground spider things that pop up out of the ground, and and it's in the dark.
That's what the world needs more
And it's
spiders.
just more weird. And I've encountered something similar where I was like investigating a big base, and I went down to the depths of it, and they had these weird metallic spider things, and it's like a similar type of character, but it's in the ground, and it's dark, and I can't fucking get my bearings, and so I was just like, I put it down, and I think I put like 40 some hours, maybe 60 hours into that game. I put a lot of time into this game, and I need to beat it.
Hey,
I need to fucking beat it. I really want to
I think
beat it.
I
I
put
just,
like 15
hey,
or
understand.
I put a lot of time into it. And so I feel
It's a
bad.
lot bigger of a game than I expected.
Yeah, me too. I thought I was like gonna beat it at this point, and then it sent me to this other place, and I'm like, oh, I guess okay,
This is
doing
the
this all
thing,
over again.
okay.
All right, here we go.
We tried playing online, but literally no one was playing it. It was a ghost town.
Oh man.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
basically
Ian and
just-
I were like hanging out in the lobby for a while. Like maybe there's
Yeah.
another person playing this game.
did it let us play just 2-player?
I don't think it did.
I thought we
Well,
did it
that's
once.
stupid.
No, yeah, it's pretty chill. There's like not a lot of
Yeah.
It's like it only lets you do like these co-op events, but I think you need like 3 players.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
absolutely a dead game.
So I was hoping that
unfortunately.
Dave would jump in, and then you'd have 3 people, because the servers are still up just to play it, but like they didn't find it very interesting. So, and you're really only just
Lame.
doing like horde mode to get resources.
Mhm.
But anyway, But I
I
think it's a
remember
cool
playing
game.
the beta of it. The beta was a lot of fun. There's tons of people playing that.
It has a lot more story. It's very just a survival game with weird, creepy shit going on, and I really enjoy it. And I really got sucked into it, and I feel bad that I haven't finished it. So I'm going to finish it at some point. But yeah, that's my number one.
Here you go. Yeah.
Don't
Cool.
hate on that game. I think it's cool. You can get it for super cheap
No.
too.
No, it's fun. It is.
It sounded
even,
fun.
even solo.
It's a
If
good
you have
concept.
a buddy or a couple of buddies to play it with you, heck yeah.
Okay, Aaron, what's your number one?
All right. So my number one, I'm surprised Jared didn't say anything about this one, is Until Dawn.
I thought of it. Yeah, I loved Until Dawn.
I didn't think I'd like as much as I did, just because it's scary. You're up in a mountain trying to survive a trip that just completely went to fucking shit because some angry creature called the Wendigo, which actually I guess is a Indian lore cannibal, pretty much, but a super cannibal essentially is what it is. Pretty much stalks and kills everybody, but depending on your choices, it can make everybody survive or nobody survive. Which I'm like, I'm gonna try and make everybody survive. I don't know why people are that big of dicks in their games sometimes. Like, I get there's a trophy for it, but
Well, yeah, I got the platinum in the game.
Oh, so Jared did
nice.
it.
So
I did
Jared
all
did
of
do
the
it.
things.
I have
yeah.
such a hard
thought-
time doing that, man. I like oh, let's go back through and
Same.
be a dick, and it's like I can't do that.
Yeah,
I
that's what
think
happened
I
to
ended
me.
up going through the game like 4 or 5 times to get the platinum.
Yeah, that's what happened to me because like I was like I'm a one and doneer for the most part, except for Mass Effect, but that's for obvious reasons, and Dead Space. But other than that, I'm kind of a one and done when it comes to video games. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see a point of playing over and over again for the most part. Like, I mean,
So-
Spider-Man was different, but that's
So,
because it's
Aaron-
open. Yeah,
Did you know that a remake of Until Dawn just came out?
I did. Yes, I heard about this.
Yeah, which
For the
I heard they
PS5,
changed
right?
like the camera perspective a little bit. I don't know all the changes. I think it's all the same voice acting and stuff like that.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it'd be interesting to see what it's about. But I'm not gonna buy it again. As much
No.
as I played that first one and got the platinum, I'm like I don't know. I don't think they can really throw any new surprises at me.
See, if it was
But
a sequel,
I think it's for
then
a new generation. Hmm.
if it was for a sequel, it'd be one thing. Like if they did Until Dawn 2, like a different thing and different everything,
Yeah.
fine. But no, I beat it once. I've done enough with that game. But
Well, that
just like-
company did a series of different games. The something anthology.
They
What
did.
was that? Dark Pictures anthology.
yes, yes,
Which I
remember that,
haven't
yeah.
played any of those, and I really want
Me
to.
neither.
I need to get to those someday. We haven't gotten any of them for free, but they get pretty. The first couple get pretty cheap right now, so
Right.
eventually I'll pick one of those up. But yeah, I absolutely want to play the Dark Pictures anthology. Same
thought
style
that-
of game.
I thought that Man of Medan was a dark picture anthology. I thought we got that one for
It
free
is.
from PS.
Oh, did we get it free?
I think
Man of
so.
Medan.
Man of Medan, I think. But
We'll have to
I
look.
can't remember. But no, I think that game is really well done, and I like the fact that there was no clear cut thing. It's like you think you did the right thing, and then you didn't,
Yeah.
and you think you did the horrible thing, but you did the right thing. It's like,
Well, I don't own it, but it's currently $10.
oh, okay, maybe I was
And
thinking
Little
some other game.
Hope is $10. So that's
Okay.
another one of them. So
They're
yeah,
all-
there's a
are they
couple that
all-
are both $10.
On the Halloween
Okay.
Halloween sale.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's a PlayStation Halloween sale right now.
Oh.
Probably every store in any marketplace right now is Halloween sale. So if you're looking for something like Until Dawn that's on everything for an affordable price, the Dark Pictures anthology games are probably a good place to go.
Right. But yeah, no, I just thought that was probably my favorite just because I like the fact it's unpredictable. Like, yeah, I love Dead Space, but obviously I haven't beat it as that would have been number one, and this game would have been number two. But number one because A, I beat it, and B, I just love the fact it's very unpredictable. And that's something I like in games every now and then.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I love my Mass Effect, my Final Fantasy, my Dead Space, my whatever. But every once in a while, it's nice to know that if you did everything right, everything can still go fucking wrong.
Right.
But
So fucking
but
wrong.
some of the most fun I had with that game going for the platinum is purposefully failing QTEs
Oh,
and seeing what kind of stupid shit they fall on and stumble on what they say and that kind of stuff. It's just kind of fun watching them just completely f up and
can see that.
where it goes. It's entertaining in its own right.
it is kind of funny when you see something like that happen. It's like, oh, what do you
I think there was
dude?
whole Twitch streams based on let's make this fail. Let's miss everything.
Right.
Just screw this.
No, I get that. No, I could definitely see that being a funny situation because it's like, the first few times I get frustrated and I'm like, okay, this is stupid. How did I fail so badly? But then other times like, this is too much. I can't take it. It's too funny.
Do you guys recall in that, not the remake, but the original Until Dawn, was that one that people could sign in with an app and you could all make decisions together, or it was like they kind of included a multiplayer experience in it for decision making and QTEs. That sounds like something they did. I'm pretty sure that was a thing.
No, but
I
I
do
could
not-
see it being.
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
not my
okay.
type of game, so I don't know.
I could see either
There's
going
no
really well
spiders
or
in
really
it, Ian.
There's no spiders?
There's no
There's the one
spiders.
The other thing
There's a
that's
Wendigo.
scary is really that oh fuck the Wendigo. I hate that thing.
Oh, you mean it's just a bunch of QTEs? Fun.
Yeah. You
Also
love
my
QTEs.
favorite. Also my favorite
Yeah.
type of games. Two
Yeah,
things
it's
scare me in video
absolutely a
games.
game of QTEs,
Spiders
yeah.
and QTEs. It's like the Heavy Rain guy. It's-
Oh
Yeah.
god, I hate that game. Was so boring. I remember playing it. It was a dole fest.
Yeah.
Like I played the first hour. I'm like, no.
Isn't that
It was
supposed to be
so
creepy
boring.
and scary? No?
I think it's supposed. Isn't it a murder mystery game? Like
It's-
Yeah, like fucked up.
It's more of a
Depressing.
thriller. I'd say a thriller, yeah. Because there's
Oh.
the moments where you have to decide whether or not to cut your hand off or whatever, to appease
No.
to the dude that wants you to save your son.
Well, where's some of the other
Meh.
games you guys wanted to put on this list? Since I don't play a lot of these games, it's tough for me. This is one of those tough for me lists, but it's probably really easy for you guys.
Yeah, one I wanted to mention that pretty well creeped me out was Outlast.
Oh, that's a good one. I was going to
Uh,
say something about that one.
Like any game that consistently has something chasing you and you can hear them like breathing down your neck or whatever, that kind of sends chills down my spine. And that game was really full of that.
Right,
There's
I-
3 of those. I played the first 2. I haven't touched the third one.
I didn't even know there was a third
I think
one.
I own it.
I didn't know there was a third.
Yeah, a third one came out.
How about you,
Okay.
Aaron? You got some honorable mentions?
I do. Aside from PT, that was a mentioned earlier. That was definitely on my list of them. But then there was Prey.
Oh
The
yeah,
thing that
the new
creep-
Prey is kind of
the thing-
creepy.
The
Yeah.
thing that creeped me out was just the fact that you don't know where the hell these monsters are coming from. Like, I've literally walked into a room and nothing was there. And then I look down and I, like, touch a coffee mug and all of a sudden it turns into a fucking spider creature. Like, jumps at me. Like, fuck you. No.
Yeah, it's an Ian game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready.
I played the demo. I know what it's about.
But still, the fact that shapeshifters is that, well, some of them are shapeshifters. Some of them are giant hulking creatures, but the shapeshifters are what scares me because they're tiny little objects and they jump at you. It's like, damn it. That's
So
what scares me.
earlier I was playing Doom Eternal and I was thinking maybe I should add like some of the Doom series to my list because when it comes down to it, yeah, it's a fast paced run and gun kind of shooty game.
Really is,
but
yeah.
shit is always popping out around the corner and
That's true.
screaming at you and shit like that. And there's some weird gross ass shit in that game.
Well,
And
wasn't
it's
Doom-
like any of
I
the
agree.
Doom series. Doom
Wasn't
3 was more
Doom
of like
3
a horror,
That's,
scary.
I've played Doom
Things
3,
like
and
that.
that's what I would like. I guess
That's the
maybe
horror
more the
version.
horror.
Of
it's
Doom,
kind of
yeah.
what gave way
Yeah.
to Dead Space. I would think, like
Mhm.
this kind of
Yeah.
more
Dark,
claustrophobic
metallic,
Doom idea, spaceship,
Yeah.
jump down, and but that didn't really scare me. I think I just quit playing it because I was playing
Yeah.
it. I bought it on Switch, and I just like, why am I playing this game on this? I don't know.
I played the 360 and it was boring.
Let me tell
Yeah,
you guys,
it's-
Switch is
I've
an
tried
awful
playing
console.
it.
Anyway,
Yeah. Well, I tried playing Call of Duty on the Wii.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Speaking of Nintendo consoles, yeah, that's bad. But no, Doom I thought would be a fun addition. There's a lot of first-person shooty kind of games that
Yeah, that game is
have horror
spooky, but
aspects and stuff like that. But
it's more like
yeah, it's not. Yeah,
jump shoots.
real fast. Like, oh, I better react and fucking Twitch shoot his face off and tear it off limb from
Right.
limb. You know,
Right.
that kind of thing. But it was kind of hard to add to that category. I mean, there's a lot of horror games I haven't played. You know, I'm not hunting them out, but I will not say
Right.
no to a horror game.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's not like my favorite genre. I just love playing them when
Yeah.
I take the time to.
What I've
Well-
I've mentioned some of the stuff I get scared of, and I'll mention another one. When you're in the water, so this is dumb because like there's a lot of games where they're not scary, but
Mhm.
when you go into the water and you keep going down and it gets dark and dark and dark and you don't know what's down there, I find that kind of terrifying, even though it's a video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
kind of what things in video games, like it's not really the game, but what scares you in a video game? What's the thing?
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's a
usually
good
it's things
question.
chasing me. Yeah, as I
don't-
mentioned, like Outlast, like there's whole points where it's stealthy, but then they might see you, so they start running. You have to like, do parkour over obstacles and stuff like that to
Right.
lose them and things like that. And you can hear them yelling at you and chasing you and stuff like that. That kind of shit creeps me out.
Right.
Aaron?
I can. God, I want to say what scares me the most is when you just got through all like the what you think is the scary shit, and it's all nice and calm, like in BioShock. Like you just got through killing a big atom, or getting a big atom to get away from me. Like, oh, thank God, it's done and over with. And all of a sudden, you see a wrench flying at your head, like literally out of the blue, go gong, like just someone just jumping out and just meleeing your ass because you didn't see him coming. That type of shit just scares me. Jump scares, I fucking hate them. And that
Oh
game was.
yeah, so
And
no,
creep
it's a
it with the-
surprise that you like Dead Space so much because that game is like jump scare the game.
But it's weird because I can handle that one because I know what they are. I know they're coming because I see their shadow in like the light of the ventilation shaft or on the ground or in there. But sometimes I'll literally like be just standing there looking around trying to figure out where they are, and all of a sudden I see like a scythe, like a sickle hand, just come out of the
Yeah.
blue and just whack me. I'm like,
Dude, seriously, find some wired headphones and plug them into your PlayStation controller. That game is magnified in its gloriousness with like good sound.
Yeah, a lot of the
speaking of
time
good-
it's just sound. A lot of the time it's just like
mhm.
just the creepy crawly leg.
Yeah,
like
running
nail
over
legs
overhead
in the
or whatever,
distance,
like that.
running over,
Yeah.
just around. It's just
That's-
like that alone. It's just like, okay, I know that is an awful thing that I do not want to deal with, and I'm out
Yeah.
later.
Or you might bump into it a couple of rooms later. But it
No,
sets.
the shitty thing is
different
you
kind of
never run into it.
expectations.
Whatever that
Yeah.
is, you'll never run into it.
I
It's
don't
just-
know what that was.
Well, it's funny you mention that because Dead Space, when you meet the giant Hulk thing later on in the game, like it just makes a bunch of noise, and it's like you think, oh, it's gonna be in the next room, and it's still making the noise. Like, where the fuck is this thing? And then all of a sudden, you get to the door right before you go meet it, and just, and like you see a giant dent in the door. Like, oh man, I don't want to fight you.
Son of a.
This is why, like this game, that Phasmophobia game.
I'm interested in trying that.
You know, and it's
someday.
a kind of a janky, broken game. I've watched some
Community
people play
game.
it, you know, but I feel like something like that, where it was more like you have to listen, like the sound has to be better, and you're listening to it. You're trying to follow that sound. You know, you're trying to hunt the creature,
Mhm.
and it's just like, I think that would be intense. Like you heard it, and you're like trying to run away from it, but like that's not the point. It might be
Well,
coming for you, but
you
you
have to
have
go
to go
after it.
towards it. Like your whole
Well,
job is to go
mhm.
towards it, and like
Also, in that game, if you're talking to your friends or like people in the house,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to be quiet because
yeah.
the game reacts to your voice and how much it projects.
But then at the same time, you have to communicate to them because each person
Yeah.
has a different type of piece of
Yep,
equipment
a different
usually.
tool.
So it's kind of
yeah.
like
So it's,
or like you're not supposed to run because running will instigate it. So I watched way back in the day when the Shipleys were together. They used to, with their group, they used to play it all the time. So I would watch them stream it, and it looked like a lot of fun. But it looked janky as
Right.
fuck too.
Right.
Yeah, and that's fine. It's nice that a game that people with talent and love for their project are able to release something that so many people can love. It doesn't have to be a big AAA title to be
Right.
creepy
Yeah.
or like fun where people are attracted to it. It's something we need more success stories on because like the AAA industry is falling apart right in front of our faces, and this
Right.
middling AA extravaganza is no longer around. It's all up to the indies at this point.
Well, even
it's-
the
Right.
indies are a little
what
like
we need.
too expensive.
They're
Like,
scrambling at this point. Yeah,
It's
So,
interesting.
New
like the
it's
AA,
wild.
the AA area just has disappeared, and I think that those
Uh-huh.
games need to be. I kind of think like Space Marine 2, even though it's straddling that line of AAA, it's like that comes from a AA studio. That's not a big studio. They're
Yeah.
but some other games I wanted, like I have played that Evil Dead game, which is kind of like the Friday the 13th game, where it's like
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I never played any of that. Kind
where
of
it's
stuff.
like the 3 versus 1. You're kind of like running
Oh,
around.
Dead by
and-
Daylight.
Kind of like Dead by Daylight, which is super popular. But like, you're like the one person versus like the one enemy, and you're like trying to like. I mean, I think those games are kind of fun.
Cool concept.
For some reason, we just our group doesn't really get into that. So I think that would be a lot of fun to do, but we just don't. Those aren't games we play, so it's just kind of. But I think that would be kind of fun. I think that obviously they keep releasing. It's like that Predator one your friend worked on.
Oh yeah, Predator Hunting Grounds. That's
Yeah,
right.
It's the same kind of similar thing.
Right.
I don't know. It's too. I mean, those are kind of AA games. They're kind of janky. They have they have their audience for like a couple months. They do well, and then obviously they do well enough that those companies keep making them. It's kind of interesting, but
Yeah, but then those licenses disappear and the game
Exactly.
shuts down. So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
it's weird, like short-term games. It's like they go into it understanding. Yeah, it's just gonna live its life for as long as it needs to,
Yeah.
because the fan base will disappear, drop off real fast, like in most games,
And
and
that's why
then
they
we
make
don't
another
have to
one,
worry
though.
about it. Yeah, here, let's move on to the next project. Here we go.
I guess as long as it pays for itself and pays for everybody, it doesn't. That doesn't really matter. I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
hey,
Who knows?
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, I think this was kind of a fun discussion. I don't know. You guys have anything else you want to add about scary? I don't think we've ever done this in the 20,000 years. I don't think we've ever done like a scary top 3. I was
Yeah.
sitting here, like sitting in my couch, like, what should we fucking do an episode? I was like, it's Halloween. Why don't we do a scary episode?
Right.
And then I'm like, oh my God, can I find games I'm scared? Of course I can find games, but like, that I actually like. But
Yeah.
I think that
I
was
will
fun.
I will say this about most games. Like, okay, so the spooky, it's not a scary game. It's spooky. Is Hellblade, and I think what added the spookiness to it is the fact that when you put the headphones on,
Oh yeah.
you heard the voices and stuff like that. New horror games need to start doing that more often. Like like you can hear not just the external shit, like the or the like. You should be able to hear
The
what
thoughts
you
of your
are.
person. Yeah.
The inner
Like,
monologue, but not being too talky, because that's been a
Exactly.
big problem lately with whatever's hanging on your hip is
Yeah,
talking
no.
too much kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Well, Hellblade did a perfect job of doing that, but also the person was
Yeah.
schizophrenic, so like
If
it did a really good job of doing that. But they could do something like that with it, like use the innovations of the 21st century to their advantage. Like, yes, the ambiance is great, the graphics are amazing, all that shit's great, but there's more to it now than that. Now we can
Right.
do with it.
Right.
So much more we can do with it now.
I considered Hellblade, but then I was just like, that wasn't really scared. I just thought it was like creepy the way it was doing it. But the game
Yeah,
never
no, I
really
agree.
creeped me out. But yeah,
No, Like, I mean, the only time I got creeped out was the time when I first started playing it. Like, I was fully immersed into it because, like, I'd hear the voices, and then I didn't know it, but my wife was starting to like whisper in my ear while doing that. I thought it was the game. I'm like what the? 'Cause I didn't hear my wife move or anything. That's how invested in the game I was. All of a sudden, I turn around and my wife is right there. I'm like, God damn it, what are you doing? And my wife is just passed out, almost died laughing at me. I'm like,
That's funny.
damn you, woman.
All right.
Well, that makes me think of experience with Resident Evil 7. You know, I thought my family was going to be out for a long period of time, so I was playing Resident Evil 7, and
Right.
they got home earlier than I expected. I was in like a tense, quiet moment, and the door crashes open. My kids are like, ah, dad. I'm like, oh. It was like the one time my family has made me jump while playing a game. I'm like, oh shit, because you have the bucket on your head and you have no idea what's going on. You have earplugs in your ears, and then all of a sudden you're being grabbed on the shoulders and shit, and you're like, ah.
It turns out it's your kids.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it was the
Kids can
perfect
be
timing
scary.
of the game. It's freaking nuts.
Right.
Sweet.
I agree.
All right. Well, that was scary, spooky, horror games and a little horror, scary discussion of video games. We'll move on. Get to wrapping this up. We'll hit some couch co-optionals first, and then we'll hit some trivia, and then get out of here. So,
There we go.
couch co-optionals.
Hey.
Couch co-option.
Who wants to go first?
Sure.
All right, Jared.
All right. I think.
So, I, as mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I went to the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Symphony just yesterday. I would urge anybody to go to that, or
There you
just
go.
any symphony. If you love music, but for some reason don't like classical, just do yourself a favor. You'll love a symphony anyways. It's just such a cool experience.
Pick music
letting
you like.
all those
Find music,
instruments,
like music from like a movie or video
Yeah.
game. Try and find
Yeah,
something.
they
Well-
do tons of those
well, like-
nowadays.
Well, like Dave, he went to one where they were playing the score to a movie.
Close
and he
Encounters
watched
of the
movie.
Third
Yeah.
Kind.
Yeah.
And
told
then
my wife's
Sony,
in-law-
just this
in-laws
is
about that.
topical news-wise. Sony just announced in the dates in the UK for the PlayStation Symphony
Oh, yeah.
thing. So God of War
Oh.
and Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, all the PlayStation.
and I imagine
like,
that'll
big hits.
eventually come here. I don't know, but that's
Yeah.
you can find things in your area where they do movies or
Yeah.
and it can be rocking too. Sometimes they'll add a little guitar in there. It's just it's what it is, but it doesn't have to just be Mozart and things that when you think of
No,
symphony
Right.
and
it doesn't
classical
have
music.
to be,
but
but it can be.
It can be.
It-
Oh
it's
yeah, 100% can
fantastic.
be. Yes.
Well,
Well,
this last winter, my wife and I went to a quartet. Just four people playing beautiful songs, and it was wonderful.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like if you can find something you want to, whether it's Close Encounters of the Third Kind or The Legend of Zelda or Final Fantasy Rebirth Symphony, you're gonna have fun at
Yeah,
a symphony.
100%.
It's just like
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like it doesn't have to be just like Ian said. That doesn't have to be just Mozart or Beethoven. If you want to do that, go ahead. But it doesn't have to be those fucking things, you know.
Yeah.
Just
I
do
mean,
it.
the prior weekend I was just at Iron Maiden, like I just
There you
like
go.
music. So classical music, video game music, whatever, throw it at me, bro.
Throw it
As
at.
long as you like it, doesn't matter. Just
Yeah.
go for it.
Go to a show.
Go to a show. How about you?
Oh,
Aaron?
yeah.
What you got?
Well, okay, since it's Halloween season, I've been kind of watching some of the older spooky movies, and I found Poltergeist, actually, the
Oh, yeah.
old one. I don't want to watch the remake. I'm too, like, I heard that one's actually more
Didn't
scary
really
than the
was
first one.
Huh.
But, I watched that. I
the
enjoyed it.
OG Poltergeist is scary. We're in the mirror when it's
Yes. And then
and then the clown arms.
the clown. Oh, fuck the clown. Oh, heebie-jeebies. Goosebumps.
Yeah.
And then I guess the pool scene, there's actual skeletons in it. Those aren't props. They're real.
That's what I heard too.
skeletons.
They actually use actual skeletons just because they couldn't. It's what they. Yeah,
For
Because
the-
why
I've heard
not?
that. I've heard that rumor. I've
Same.
never had it confirmed for me, but like I have also heard that old wives' tale. They actually
Yeah.
real, but who knows?
Skeletons, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll never know. But no, that's my recommendation for the Halloween season. Trying to keep it spookies since we're in a spooky time.
I only watched the first one. I've never seen the
Mm-mm.
second or third one, the sequels. But
The
I
second
they're not that
one's-
great.
the second one was creepy. That's the one with like the weird braces scene and shit like that.
I don't remember. I don't
No, see, I never saw.
Oh yeah. Well, it's really memorable to me because I was like standing in the hallway watching it when I wasn't supposed to.
Oh.
My oldest brother had
course.
just gotten braces, and there's this scene where braces start like growing out of this kid. Like he just got braces in the movie, and they're like going all over the place, like wrapping around his face and shit. And I'm just like, ah.
Oh, fuck that! No, oh no.
All this talk of
need
this
braces,
kind
but I
of
don't want
shit makes me. And we're talking about movies right now. This is not my recommendation, but like, if they made a PT game, like a style of a game, but like in The Shining,
Oh,
where
yeah.
you're little Timmy or whatever his name is, and you ride around on your big
Mhm.
wheel and you go around a bunch of times, and it's always the same, and then eventually you do come across the twins or whatever random shit in that movie. That could be terrifying as fuck. Anyway, I don't know. That movie's great. Anyway. I was just thinking,
agree.
let's make a Shining video game where it's basically PT. But anyway,
Yeah.
Right. I could do it.
I don't. What was I going to? I guess I was going. I got a. Well, dude, I have a bunch of things, but
Ooh.
first of all, I got my custom Transformers Converse.
I saw those.
This
Those look
week.
nice.
Super fucking sick. So you can go. I think all the actual limited edition Transformers, the pre-made ones, those sold out. But you can still go to their website and do the custom build, which is a cool thing that Converse has been doing. They just announced the Billie Eilish crossover,
cool.
so you can do a Billie Eilish build.
Oh.
You can just do regular kind of Converse builds of your own, just of the standard Chuck Taylors, and then there's this Transformers crossover that they're doing, and so I got to pick. You get to pick the color of your tongue and the design, and like if you want Autobots or Decepticons, and then you get to choose a certain amount of Autobots or Decepticons that you want on the shoe, and then you know
Nice.
it's awesome. So
And didn't you do like a split on the logo? I was like,
no,
Yeah,
the
I
logo
think
on the inside sole is just how it is.
oh, okay.
It's just like, yeah, that's just how it
It's
is. But
both of the logos.
yeah, that's just a
split into two,
standard.
yeah.
That's something you don't get to choose. That's just a standard
Okay.
thing.
That's cool though. It looks
But
neat.
yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff that you get to choose from. A lot of different things you can choose from. You also get to choose from like standard Chuck Taylor or the more comfort fit, which is nice. So I got to get a little more cushion in the shoe than.
Nice.
Anyway, and it was like, I mean, they're expensive. It was like $100, but that's kind of what those limited Chucks cost anyway. So it wasn't really that much more expensive. I think my Wonder
was gonna say,
Woman.
that's
Yeah, it's pretty.
Relatively small potatoes.
Yeah, right. It seems pretty. I was like, oh, that's not that bad. I was thinking it was gonna be way more expensive, and it's like pretty chill.
Right.
So, anyway, that's super awesome. I recommend doing that if you're a Transformers fan, or find something that they also do a version of, because they have different crossovers or different. So anyway, you can go to Converse.com and check that out.
cool.
And then, like Jared mentioned, we went to the Iron Maiden concert Monday,
Mhm.
last
With
Monday,
the Who.
with the Who, and I fucking picked up the Who's first album,
Cool.
and it's fucking awesome. And it's the deluxe version, so it's the whole album, and then they have like 3 of their hits. And Jacoby, I forget his last name, but the lead singer from Papa Roach sings the chorus in Wolf Totem, but the whole band sings the song, but then he sings the chorus in English. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like, it's a very interesting. So they have 3 songs. They have Hellstrom does a version, and then I forget the other band.
That's cool.
So there's 3 like kind of metalish singers that kind of do this chorus, and then they have 3 versions of their songs in acoustic. So the deluxe version, I got the deluxe version, pretty cool. But the Who, if you never heard of them, they're kind of they're a Mongolian metal folk band. It's
the HU.
yeah, the
Not
I was
HU.
gonna say I was very
HU.
confused
The-
when you said that. Like I've heard of the
the
Who,
Who.
but I never heard of
It's more like Who, not Who. It's more like Who. I don't know.
Who.
Yeah.
HU, yes. Anyway, they're like these gnarly Mongolian guys, and they're pretty badass. And
Everybody's probably seen one of their videos
Probably.
on YouTube.
and Jared, you'll be happy to know like the
I've heard of
album
them,
is
yes.
more like guttural folk metal-y,
Yeah.
but not as heavy. Like the concert, they were like full metal, like
Yeah, they were.
it was pretty heavy.
And he wasn't doing as much of his voice during the
Right.
show.
So
as, like
The
everything
album
else
is
I've
kind of
seen.
more that and less the. But I think they were just trying to match the Maiden, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
Right.
going on a whole big ass worldwide tour with
Right.
that voice, it can't be
Right.
healthy.
Right, no,
those
can't
guys are awesome. And Iron Maiden, first time seeing Iron Maiden, they were fucking
So
awesome
good.
too. It was an awesome show, super fun.
They plan on touring again.
Yeah, I think one of the guys is leaving, but
Yeah.
the main guy is sticking around. Anyway, I don't need to see him again. It was like a bucket list thing. Like I just wanted to like see
That's
Iron Maiden
cool.
once, so it's like I've seen him. It's awesome.
Done.
But yeah, I recommend
go.
all those things.
Ding.
Okay,
Cool.
Nice.
Jared, give us that trivia.
Well, of course you're gonna know the answer to this.
Oh, okay.
It's a very, very easy one.
Easy trivia.
What was the Sega Master System called in Japan? See, no, it's not easy. Do you know?
the Mega Drive? No, that's the Genesis.
Yeah, it's Genesis.
Uh,
no, yeah.
The Sega
Well,
Master
it's-
System is in Japan. Someone's
don't
screaming
know.
at their screen. I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
No, it's
That
super
good?
lame. It's really lame. It's the SG 1000.
SG.
And specifically the Master System that came out to the rest of the world was the SG 1000 Mark III, because the original Mark I came out in like '83.
See, I'm just not a
So,
big
like,
enough
a long
Sega
time
fan.
before.
Just not,
Yeah.
Way to go.
Oh, I know. It's funny. Well, what's funny about that is like the SG Mark I, it had very limited release. It was only in Japan. Then the Mark II introduced like a new kind of cartridge type, and then the Mark III played them all, so it was all backwards compatible. That's the one they released everywhere,
What a weird choice.
and it still didn't even do very well.
Strange.
It like got crushed by the NES, and it just didn't really stand a chance. I only knew one person that owned the thing.
I was gonna say I never
Personally.
heard of it until now. So
Yeah, well, it's funny because last week, I think it was last week that I mentioned it was the Game Gear's launch, and Dave mentioned, one of the accessories was the Gear Master or whatever it was
Right,
called,
right,
where you
right.
could
Yeah,
play
yeah.
Master System games in your Game Gear.
right.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that would have had that.
I've seen that
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway,
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the models, like those older consoles, they all kind of looked the same to some degree. They're like, they had their angles, and the Mark II had like the slots on the side where you attach the controllers, because, it's funny, like all these consoles, like I have an Intellivision back here, and there's like slots to attach the controllers to the top and things like that. It's kind of funny back in those days. Like, here's your controller storage area.
I always thought the Master System looked cool though. The
Yeah,
kinda
it was cool
angular-
with the red and black and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting, just like the super lame naming. Like the SG part just means Sega Game 1000.
There
we go.
Original.
Yeah, super original. Yeah.
Master System seems kind of weird too, though. Like there was
Yeah.
a secondary system.
Yeah, the Mark 1 and the Mark 2.
Oh, I guess
And
so.
that Mark 3 must have been the Master System. They didn't call it the Master System in Japan. It was just the Mark 3.
Huh.
The SG 1000 Mark 3.
Boring.
So would the
Yeah.
Master System play both cartridges then in the U.S.?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was still region controlled back then even.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty interesting. But don't quote me on that. I didn't research compatibility and
Don't
stuff
quote
like
me,
that.
boy.
but
I ain't said shit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Boys in the hood. Anyway,
Yeah.
cool. All right, that's some trivia for you. I guess we'll wrap up. Get
Yeah.
out of here. Good show, guys. Fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah. No.
Thanks for
Yeah.
showing up, Aaron. You've
Yeah.
been pretty consistent lately. That's awesome.
I know. Well,
I know
it
it's
helps
I know
that
it's
she
hard
does.
sometimes. Yeah.
It just helps that the little one's going down at a decent time for a change and actually
Yeah.
stays asleep. So
Good.
Oh, so that means you're getting sleep.
mostly.
Or a
Until-
little bit of you time.
Yeah, both. I get both.
Yeah, good.
You time and sleep.
Yeah,
Anyway,
cool. Well,
And
awesome.
Dave, you have a new system.
Hopefully, Dave and Nick can join us next week. I'm hoping Dave will
Right.
beat. He's pretty close. He should beat Space Marine 2 by next week, and then we can give our final reviews on that.
Cool.
So that's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping for, but I guess we'll find out. So stay tuned for that, listeners.
Yes.
Until then, you can find our podcast on all the podcast platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Audible, YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/SmokemanPictures and you can watch us or just listen to us. What else? Anything exciting? I don't know. You can go to what? I don't even know what our email address is anymore. The couchcoopshows@gmail.com or thecouchcoopshow@gmail.com. It's one of those.
It totally matters.
It's
It totally
at work. Click one, then the
Yeah.
other.
Go to Facebook or Instagram and just DM me. Slide into my DMs at Couch Co-op Shows. All one word, no hyphen. Whoa! It's been a while since we used that.
I know. I'm rusty.
Well, we haven't done it in forever. We've just been lazy. Anyway, I want to thank Aaron and Jared for joining me here on the couch.
Anytime.
Yeah, baby. For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian, reminding you to please be excellent to each other.
Wild stallions.
Oh.